and give you a quick tip. I'm about to, within the next half an hour, shoot another hanging microphone performance for my channel. If you go there, you'll see one. Um, this is something I plan to do a lot of. Reached out to a number of artists that I know, and some many that I haven't worked with before, singers, songwriters, rappers, spoken word, that kind of thing. Have them perform, and what I will do is edit those together, put them on the channel, and then also explain to you guys what I did as far as the editing goes, how I cut it together, why I did what I did, talk about how I directed and produced these little 1 day, few hour shoots. So here's a tip that goes along with prepping for a shoot, whether it's a long shoot or a simple shoot, difficult. This will be a one-man band, me. I'll be operating two 4K cameras. And let me let you pan. I'm going to pan over and see if you can see the equipment. Let's see. I have my equipment. Whoop, not there. I have my equipment up. Oh, sorry about that. Got cut off on my live stream. That hadn't happened to me before, but I was able to resume. So I don't know how much you saw, but the tip for today is staging your equipment. I'm doing a small shoot with a hanging microphone performer. Started doing those on my channel. You can go see the first one channel. But the tip is staging your equipment before the shoot. A lot of times people show up for the shoot with their equipment in the bag, and this is the tip. What I do, I'm shooting from my location, so I'm able to set the equipment up before the talent arrives. Let me show you a little peek over here if I can. Let's see. Okay, you can see some of my equipment staged up over there. I'm shooting with two 4K cameras, and I'm using Sony. I've been using Sony for a while. I'm using a FX30 and an A6500, and I'm shooting them in 4K. So staging the equipment, the tip about staging equipment is you have the time before the talent arrives or the actors, especially if you're doing it like a one-man band like I am today. So I set everything up. I go through the menu items. I make sure the batteries are charged. I make sure I have extra batteries sitting ready to go that are charged. I'm shooting outside on a bright day, so I had time to put on my ND filters, check through all the menu items in both cameras to make sure they were set where I wanted them. I have my hanging mic set up, and we'll be doing a playback of the artist's music tracks. And I'm going to use a Bluetooth speaker so that I can pick up the sound and have a scratch track on my cameras so I can sync his real singing to this scratch track and to this studio produced version of his track so I can have clean music. So the tip is, if you have the opportunity to arrive early, go to the location, or if you're shooting from someplace you have access to early, go, set up, stage your equipment. Take your time. You won't have to sweat and worry about if I have everything, if everything is working. You can test everything. So staging your equipment, if you have that opportunity, is the best bet. When I'm even doing a remote shoot, I try to always arrive at least 2 hours early, because you always have to allow some time for error. No matter how many times you've done it, no matter how long you've been shooting, no matter how well you know your equipment, there's guaranteed there'll be something that's missing, even if it's something small, even if it's something little that you did forget, or some kind of barrier that you run into on the location, or something else comes up that you need to do before you can work on your equipment. So if you have time to stage your equipment before the shoot starts, you will be happy. You won't have to sweat and rush while you're setting up the equipment. You can have the talent rehearse. You can have the talent get dressed at their leisure. You can, if you have helpers, you can have your helpers run through and let them rehearse. So it's always better to arrive early, stage your equipment, check it out, and you're ready for the shoot. So that's just a quick tip. So today what I'm shooting is another, I mentioned it earlier before my live stream dropped out, which was weird. It hadn't done that to me before. I'm doing another hanging mic performance. And I will be doing a bunch of these because I actually like shooting those. I like bringing new artists on and having them feature themselves on my channel. And then what I do is I interview them about how they got started, what inspired them, that kind of thing. And then I put all those pieces together, put them here on the channel, and then I can also do videos for you guys explaining behind the scenes how I edited, why I edited the way I did, what mistakes I made. The last time I shot the first one of the big mistakes I made was I shot at noon, and that was a bad choice. We're shooting outside, and we had really heavy shadows if you start at noon, so you want to avoid shooting at noon when the sun is at its highest peak in the sky, because it will cast harsh shadows. And if you have a mic or a boom pole, the shadow could end up going across the talent, and you don't want that. If you go back and look at my open mic performance, you'll see a mistake I made because I did shoot at noon and the sun was really high in the sky, and I was dealing with shadows, battling the shadows. So this time, I don't think I'm going to have that error. I'm starting later in the day around 2, and I actually have the location I'm shooting in. I have some trees across the street that I can shoot under, so I might do that. The only thing you two have to worry about when you're shooting under trees is that sometimes the bright sun will come through and hit sunspots on the person's face. So you don't want that either. But it's better than being in direct, harsh sunlight where the person has to squint. Also, they're getting harsh shadows. So that's a mistake I made in my first hanging microphone shoot, which I won't make again. So each time I'm getting better. I also did prep because I was able to stage my equipment at my leisure. I realized I do need neutral density filters on both cameras, so it can help me control the exposure better. Neutral density filter is kind of like sunglasses for your camera. It brings the exposure down so you don't have to stop your camera down so far. And sometimes if the sun is so bright, no matter how far you stop your camera down before it goes black, you still can't control the exposure. But so with neutral density filters, you always want to have one that fits your lens that you plan to use in your bag in case you need to take it out and pop it on. So I always do that. So I was able to put those on. I was able to configure my cameras to both shoot as close to matching as possible. I'm shooting with 2 Sony digital cameras. I'm shooting in 4K, so I'm going to be shooting in S-Log. For any of you who know about S-Log, I'll be shooting in S-Log, and that will give me an ability to match these cameras much easier. One is a FX30, and the other is AG 6500. So they both have the same sensor size and are both Sonys, so I shouldn't have much of a problem matching those 2 cameras. So again, I just wanted to do this quick tip for you guys, and then later on today, after the shoot, once I review the footage and see how it turned out, I'll jump on this evening and maybe give a little recap about how the shoot went, and if I did make any errors on this shoot, which I hope I won't. But again, you always have to be prepared because no matter how long you've been doing it, things go wrong on production. Not wrong, disastrously wrong, but things may be off. You may have forgot to put something in your bag. You may have forgot to bring extra batteries. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about when I say things go wrong, where human error. I always work from a list. I always make a list, what I call a list of lists, before I do a shoot, a couple of days before that, so I know what equipment to bring. The beauty right now today is that I'm shooting outside near my home, so that if I do forget anything, I can just step right back in and get it. That's a benefit of shooting close to where all your equipment is stored. So I will see you later on today. I want to say hi to let me see whose names I can see up here. Someone says K.A. up and calm down. Hello everyone. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't seen my content, please follow the link below. Go to my channel. Look at some of my playlists. What I'm trying to do now is get more watch hours. You guys have helped me. I'm getting close to my 1,000 subscribers, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm working on those watch hours now, so only you can help me get enough watch hours. Only you can help me get enough watch hours. So put it on, let it play in the background. Every little bit helps, and I do appreciate that. So I'm moving forward to getting monetized. I'm going to start creating more original content here. Things are moving forward. Open mic. I've been working with some actors and actresses who are writers, creating some ideas for vertical series. That's one of my big goals here, is to create vertical content series and get them out where you guys are swiping through. You can watch episodes. So that's one of my big goals. Also, I want to do more horizontal series, comedy, all comedy related. I'm not really planning to do any drama content. I want to do humorous stuff. I think YouTube is a great fit for that. Most of the time when people are scrolling through, they want a little chuckle, a little laugh. And so that's what I plan on doing with YouTube and getting monetized and creating, and collaborating with people. It's not just going to be me. I'm going to be collaborating with a lot of people. I love collaboration. That's why one of the reasons I became a filmmaker. So I will see you later on today and let you know how that shoot turned out. Thanks for watching.